Hi, and welcome to the One Way Football's one-on-one fan talk. Yeah, I'm joined here, a bit different today. Joined here by Ollie because we're going to be talking about Championship. Because I'd like to think that this show and program, this channel, is not just about the Premier League. We like to
Yeah.
get other people involved and have a chat about their teams as well.
You've been doing the FA Cup for a couple of weeks, haven't you?
Yeah, well, you've got to, haven't you? Because then if we didn't, there'd be nothing to talk about.
Yeah, that's it, I know. But they're flying through the games now, though, aren't they? It's obviously just with it being the pandemic and that, I think. So it's like there's a game, like if you look, like, I use an app called Flash Scores for my football. I don't know what you get over there. I don't know if it's the same. But every day I'll have a look, I'll go on it, like Monday, Tuesdays, like a Premier League game on Championship. There's always something on.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Football's just flying through, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think with what the whole situation that we're in, they're just trying to ram as much football as they can in because after this, all this is settled down, they want to still do the Euros 2020, don't they? So
yeah, James, I'd be very surprised if that goes there again.
Yeah,
you got to think now with the way travelling is. There's all these new strains and are coming out all the time. I can't see it happening. Because I mean, the change they did in the so it was original. I mean, it's always been just in one country, hasn't it? But now it's different countries, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in the sense of teams having to fly over, surely they're going to have to quarantine for a little bit and things like that. They're not just going to throw that out the window, are they? So
they'd all have to be tested first, and not just the players either. It'd be the you got to think about the pilot. You got to think about the stewardesses. Do you know what I mean? They've all got to be accounted for, aren't they? Because
absolutely, yeah, they have. So
it's not just the players; it's them. If one of their staff members on the plane get corona and they pass it on, that's the whole competition off.
Yeah, definitely. And I think from a fan's point of view as well. I mean, I remember 2018 World Cup. It was probably the best summer of my life, that is. But people want to go to the pubs and stuff. They want to watch it there. They want to be with the mates. They want the atmosphere and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if it can't happen, it can't happen. But
and not just that, the away fans as well. Do you know what I
mean? Yeah, definitely.
Where is the Euros meant to be held? Is it
this time?
Yeah.
It's different countries, isn't it? So I think the final was supposed to be at Wembley. Actually, the semis and the final meant to be at Wembley, but it's like crazy. I know we had a game against Scotland, which I think was going to be in Glasgow.
So maybe it'd probably be better if they just stopped that and then just done it into one country, because then they can control it better, can't they?
I mean, I'm sure when it comes down to like sort of the end of the domestic season, they'll probably sit down, come together, and think of a plan more. But you just take it day by day now, don't you? You don't really know what's happening anyway. Yeah. What's it like over there where you are then? Is the pubs and that open where you are?
Yeah, so the curfew is 10 o'clock. Everyone has to be in by 10 o'clock, and it's really strict as well. The bars they have to be literally closed down and shut by 1:45 so people can get home.
Yeah.
You get fines and that, and I don't know. They're saying it might go backwards, it might go forwards. I'd never listen to the media anymore.
Yeah, it does my head in now, James. Done my head in after the first 2 weeks, to be fair. Anyway, it is what it is, isn't it?
Anyway, the Championship. Middlesbrough are now sitting 7th in the league, and they are literally 3 points of going above Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of games in hand here and there, to be fair. But I think Bournemouth have got a game in hand on us. I think Blackburn have actually just below us, so they could probably go above us.
Yeah.
But it's tight there in around that area anyway, isn't it, to be fair? I mean, I think personally, definitely in terms of difficulty, I've always said I think the Championship's the hardest league in England. I mean, obviously not for talent, you've got the Premier League and stuff, but without a doubt it is, James. I mean, if you've only got to look at the teams like for example Leeds United, they went down in 2003. I think it took them 16 years to come back up, and they went down to League One. I
mean, look, 24 teams in it as well.
Exactly. So
and they say once you get into that Championship, it locks you in. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it does. It's an absolute dogfight to get back out. 100% it is. I mean, last season we were awful. Last season, I mean, it was sort of a we'd sacked Pulis. I think we got rid of quite a few of our players. We got Woodgate in, who obviously no experience. He was just a local lad. He got the job, didn't he? So
yeah.
But I'm buzzing. We got Neil Warnock in. For me, he's up there with the likes of say Tony. I mean, Tony Pulis he gets grilled for the type of football he plays. It's awful. I hate it. But he gets people out there.
From the last season to now, has he changed it around for you?
I mean, yeah, you've got to say so, haven't you? I mean, I think for the vast majority of last season, we were just above the bottom three. I mean, last season, on the final day of the season, we could have went down.
Yeah.
we could have went down the last game of the season.
Yeah,
So, I mean, he's come in for the final few games, hasn't he? And he's kept us up. I mean, if you look now, I don't think our team's changed massively either.
No.
We've not really signed many players. I think he's just sort of, he's just one of the managers who just gets good results out of average players, doesn't he?
I mean, your last 5 matches, you lost to Birmingham. Then you won
Awful result there.
You won against Forest 2-1.
Yeah.
Lost to Blackburn.
Rotherham as well, 3-0 at home. That is just, I mean, it's results like that kill us as well, though. Because then we'll go to, like, say, I mean, Norwich, we played Norwich at the weekend. All right, we got a draw. I mean, top of the league, but it's away from home. For me, we should have won that game as well. They went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
But what I find with the Borough, when I watch him, because I'd be lying if I said I watch them week in, week out, because I'm not going to pretend to do. But they are my team, and I'll always check, see how they're doing and things like that.
Yeah.
But I did watch them the other day against Norwich, and I just feel like with me, we start at the back, we come forward, we get to the edge of the box, and we run out of ideas, and then we pass the ball backwards again.
Yeah.
It's just constantly like that all the way throughout the game, and it absolutely bores the life out of me. But teams like that, higher ones, we always seem to get half decent results against. It's the teams at the bottom that we always seem to struggle against. That's where we go wrong for me.
Who have you got? Who's your next game? Who have you got there next?
Brentford at home, I think.
You got Brentford at home, yeah.
Brentford at home. I think our next 6 games, we've got 4 matches at home. So, I mean, if we can take results from the home games, you know what I mean? We're well in there, really, aren't we? So, I can't see us getting in the playoffs, if I'm honest, James. I can't. I think I think Bournemouth will pip us. I think Watford are going to be in there. I think the teams above Bournemouth, I think they're too high now. They've got too many points. Mind you, it's like 20 games to go. So.
That's what I mean. It can all change around. And like we've been saying for the past couple of weeks, with no fans being able to go to stadiums, it's a dog eat dog, isn't it? It's like
absolutely, yeah.
If you've got bigger teeth on the day, you're taking out that other dog, ain't you?
Actually, for us, when we actually were allowed fans, we were quite renowned for having a set of the best supporters in England. To be fair, I mean, our away support's absolutely massive. We take thousands of fans to our away games. I mean, even sort of last season. Or just before last season, when fans were allowed to go to the ground, I mean, we were rubbish, but we were taking fans. They weren't bothered; they were paying the money to go, because that's just what it is. But I think now, with you not having fans, I mean, does the home, because the point of playing at home and getting a result at home is you've got all the fans behind you.
Well, yeah, there is no home and away at the moment, is there? It's just,
there isn't, definitely not.
You're just playing at a ground. You might as well play at a neutral ground. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't matter whatsoever.
No.
So,
you reckon Middlesbrough can get into that playoffs?
I'd like to think so, but if I was being realistic, I mean, if I was going to put a 5 in it, I'd say no, definitely not. I just think we lose too many games we shouldn't lose, and I just think, you know, in the Championship you just can't do that, because what happens is teams start catching up on you then.
Yeah, looking at that 4 now though, Brentford, Reading, Watford, and Bournemouth. Who would you say would win that out in the playoff?
Well, I actually think, to be fair, if we're going to talk about it, I think Norwich will win the league, definitely. I just think they're flying. Swansea is sitting, but I don't think Swansea will get automatic. I actually think Brentford will. I think Brentford the past few seasons, I don't know how much you followed the Championship the past few years.
They were in the playoffs last season, weren't they?
But for the past few years they have been, James, have been there or thereabouts, and I just think it's like us this season. A couple of years ago when we went up, we got the playoff final and we lost. Actually, the year before that, I think we got in the playoffs and lost in the semis. So we got in the semis, then we lost in the final, and then we went up automatically. And I feel like that's what Brentford are going to be like. So I feel like they've just missed out the past couple of years, and I think this will be their year this time. So I actually think they'll go up automatically, and Swansea will sit with them other 3. Yeah. But if I was going to say from that, you're talking Swansea, Reading, Watford, Bournemouth, I'd say Bournemouth. There was a lot of talk about Bournemouth not being able to do it when they actually went down. I mean, they lost Eddie Howe, which is it's a massive loss. That Eddie Howe, he was a great manager, wasn't he?
He was good.
I'm so surprised he hasn't got a job, actually.
Yeah. Look at Stoke. They've been in that Championship position for how long now? 4 or 5 years?
But yeah, probably about that. But can you remember when they went down? No, the team they had, I think they still had like the likes of like Bojan, Ryan Shawcross. I mean, Bojan, you got to think he's come from Barcelona, so he must have been half decent.
Yeah.
You don't play for Barcelona and not be a half decent football player.
Was Crouch? Did he retire at Stoke?
Crouch didn't know. He went to Burnley. Was his last team, wasn't it?
Burnley, was it? Yeah.
There was a swap deal for Sam Vokes, I think.
Yeah.
Sam Vokes went the other way.
Yeah.
But he did play a couple of years in the Championship. Peter Crouch,
Yeah.
But the likes of them. I mean, they're realistically with that team there. Yeah, they should have went straight back up.
Yeah.
But they struggled massively.
You look at Nottingham, right? It's hard to see them. If you was to tell someone now, right, that they were in the playoffs last season, you'd go, no way. Look at the state of them.
Absolutely, yeah. No, so but that's the joy of the Championship, though.
It's crazy, isn't it? This is what I mean. Yeah. It's made it even worse because of the situation we're in. And do you think Nottingham Forest will stay up?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think they have just got a little bit more about them. Then I mean, I think Wickham are down, aren't they? I don't know if you've got the league there, but I think Wickham are down. Yeah, absolutely down. I mean, to be fair, what an achievement that was to even get in the league. Like so,
like you say, if there's 20 more games left, anything can happen in that table.
Yeah. I know. I think they're about 10 points off the line. It's they just don't look like they're going to be winning any games. Mind you, to be fair, I think they beat us. I might be wrong, but I'm sure they beat us 2-1 at home. Might be 2-2 or something. But yeah. So I think Wickham will go down. I think Rotherham will go down. Rotherham are just one of them teams. They're like that. They're such a yo-yo team in the Championship. They'll go down, come back up.
Yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday, obviously, I'm almost certain it was a 12-point deduction there, Yad. So if I'm right, they have smashed it.
I'm sure it was that as well. Yeah, I remember at the beginning of the season or something, weren't it?
I don't know what it was for. I'm not sure why they got it. But I actually think they'll stay up. Yeah, I do. Honestly, I do think they'll stay up. I'll tell you what I think will go down with Rotherham and Wickham. Surprisingly, I think Birmingham will go down. And I'm actually quite disappointed with that. I'll tell you why, because they've got Karanka, which was our manager who took us up to the Premier League.
Oh, right.
So I always want him to do well. I mean, he managed Forest, and he didn't do great at Forest, and I was a bit devoted for him.
Yeah.
But he's obviously he's with Birmingham now. But I don't know. I think Birmingham they've been down there past couple of years. I just think it's their time to go on me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Birmingham will go down actually with what do you reckon, Mike? Do you reckon looking at them?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I like to see teams like Coventry that came up into the Championship last season, and even to see them staying up and doing well is quite good. Do you know what I mean? But like you say,
they smashed it last season, Coventry.
Yeah, it's crazy.
A lot of points. Yeah. It's done really, really well.
And then at the beginning of the season, I'm sure didn't they go top of the Championship at one point?
Possibly for a couple of games, but it's always like that, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, look at Villa at the start of the Premier League season. You know what I mean? They were right up there. Exactly. Yeah. Crazy, so it's always happens, and then just obviously it starts kicking in, doesn't it? The league. So
yeah. Middlesbrough, do you think they can ever get back to that scenario where they are in a Premier League position?
Yeah, I think it's I would never say never with them, and I'd like to think it'd probably happen in the next 5 years, maybe. I mean, I think the good thing with us, what we've always a lot of teams and pundits, everything I always say about us, we've got probably the best chairman in the whole of the Football League. The only problem I have now with us as a football club is that I just think it's so money based now, and as much as Steve Gibson's done for us, it pains me to say I think the time's up. I mean, because I have a feeling. I mean, if you look at, I mean, we've got a 35,000 seat stadium. Like I say, I mean, it's a Premier League club, Middlesbrough. And I think if it was a case of we were to be bought by someone, I think there'd be a lot of interest in the borough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think you're competing with money, aren't you? So I'd like to think within the next 5 years we'd go back up, but I just sort of hope we can get maybe a little bit of backing behind us in the sense of like sort of finances.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where we struggle massively. We try to get rid of Sombalonga on deadline day, because I think he's on about 40 grand a week. It's a hell of a wage for a Championship, that.
Yeah.
But obviously that didn't go through. I mean, to be honest, the Sombalonga for a good couple of years, he was the best Championship striker going, wasn't he? He was about 20 goal a season striker, but he just hasn't seemed to done it for us. I mean, his goal return's not bad, to be fair. It's just he's not consistent enough.
No.
For me, we've never had a striker who's been absolutely bang on consistent since, I'm not lying, I'm talking like the Viduka days when we had Viduka, Hasselbank, Yakubu.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that was the pinnacle of the strikers for Borough. But now I think that's where we lack. We don't have a goal scorer. We haven't done for ages. I think our last one was probably Bamford. And that was the year we went up.
He just signed a player, a midfielder from Fulham as well.
Yes.
Kibano, is it? I don't know how you pronounce his name. Kibano?
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what his name is, to be fair. I know we signed that Nathaniel Mendez-Lang.
Yeah.
I think he used to play for Cardiff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we signed Yannick Bolasie, didn't we? Do you know what, James? Over here, there's been a lot of hype around Bolasie, and I just think, for me, there's a reason he hasn't played for over a year. There must be.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a good player. He was a good player, but I just think, I don't know. I'm not feeling the hype on Bolasie. I'm not. I mean, I'm hoping he does it for us, but yeah. So I think maybe in the next 5 years, I would hope we'd go up, but. Yeah.
So your favourite to win this to win the league is Norwich?
Absolutely, yeah, Norwich. Yeah, I can't see anything past them.
For your to finish second, who are you going for?
Brentford. I'm going to go for Brentford. I think it's their time. Yeah, I love watching Brentford play. Do you ever watch a Championship?
I do. Sometimes, like on a Friday night when there's no Premier League games on, then there's obviously only like a Championship game, and then I'll
There's always
Watford played last night, didn't they?
Yeah, they
lost 2-1.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so I'd say Brentford.
The Championship, like you say, it's a hard league.
Difficult.
And a lot of big teams that go down into that league, they struggle. Look at Sunderland.
Yeah, Sunderland, big example. I mean, they're still in League One now. 4 years. They've had a Netflix documentary.
That is just a shambles. Just complete, plummet straight down. Like, and it's not even like it's not even like they stayed up. They just went down. Down.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is, again, in the sense of, like I said earlier, in the talk of like they've got, I think it's 45,000 seat stadium, and what you've got to consider as well is they're having to financially run that on League One money.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's so hard.
And in these days, money's a massive thing in football.
Oh, it's huge. Runs it, doesn't it? I mean, it's spoiling in the sense, but at the same time, it has made it, in the sense of performance. You're seeing, especially in the Premier League, you're seeing the best players in the world, aren't you?
Yeah.
So in that sense, sort of monies, but it kills sort of smaller teams, like So.
Well, cheers, Ollie, for coming on the show today. Just before you go, have you got a soft spot for a Premier League team?
Yeah.
Who is it and why?
Yeah. Simsy's going to love me, actually. Liverpool, definitely. 100%.
Is it Liverpool, yeah?
Yeah.
He's just saying that because it's Adam.
No. It's honestly 100% Liverpool. I was absolutely over the moon last year when they won the league.
Yeah.
Over the moon. And do you know what? There was that talk of it getting cancelled, wasn't there? And I was fuming. I was livid. I was like, please don't. Yeah, no, but it is Liverpool. Mind you, to be fair, like, James, I mean, I'm just a football fan in general. There's not really anyone I dislike. The only team I really don't like is Man City. I love it when they lose. Love it.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, I can't deal with I just can't deal with how much money they've had shot at them, and it just kills me.
When you look at teams that they get an investor that comes into the club and they put a load of money in, it kind of destroys your feeling for that club because there's no fight in it anymore. They just. You know what I mean? They just buy everything. They get everything they want. Do you know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah.
And the other teams don't have a chance,
Well, that's it. I know. It's like I said, that's why you get teams sort of low towards the end of the league. You look like your teams like West Brom and things like that. They're never going to do anything, are they? Right. Crystal Palace, how long have they been in the league? So
yeah, exactly. Anyway, cheers, Ollie, mate. Thank you for
spot on. Yeah, James. By the way, just a quick one. Carry on what you're doing, by the way, because it's spot on, mate. It's so professionally run, all of it. And I wish the best for you because I think you smash it every single time. Nice. All right, mate.
We'll have to get us some subscribers, mate. We got to like move this up.
Yeah, mate, I'll get him shared. I've told a couple of my mates. One of my mates is actually. I said I was coming on here, so he said, "Oh, I'll have a look." He's been on the channel, so I think he's subscribed. I'm hoping he has anyway.
Perfect.
Tell Simsy I was asking about him as well, please, for me.
I will do, mate. I will do. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Ollie, for joining us on the One Way Football one-on-one fan talk. We'll see you. Oh God, it's a bad one tomorrow. I've got to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning to do a podcast. I don't do mornings, and it's
just do an all night, James. Get on the bebs.
I remember I hate watching UFC matches. Like I had to wait up all night to watch the Conor McGregor fight for him to lose.
5 in the morning over here as well.
Him to lose in the second round, I was like,
he's done now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
He's for me. He's done now. Sure. But yeah, it's a nightmare.
So anyway, cheers, mate. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow for the Big Prem podcast. Catch you in a bit. Don't forget, like and subscribe.
Adios.
One Way Football.